Hey guys, hope everything's going well. You guys know the drill. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below. You guys could also follow me on Instagram at AIH_sports. Now, I wanted to do this video once again on UFC, and I'm really confident about UFC cards, not for the next few years, but from a long term horizon. I'm talking about 10 to 15 years. And a lot of people are saying, hey, man, you're really cynical. You're calling for this crash, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you're not buying. You're doing all these critique videos. And my mind hasn't changed for the next few years. But I also like looking at a longer term horizon. I've told you this before. In my investment portfolio, my trading, I'm very aggressive, very short term. But when it comes to cards, I tend to have more of a long term view. I do flip some cards, by the way. But when I have some cards, I want to hold it for a longer period of time, 10 years, 15 years. Now, I did get rid of some cards because all the gains that I've gotten, I thought I'd get in maybe 10 years. I got them in less than a year. So that's why I flipped some cards. Now, regarding UFC, I'm doubling down on this, and I believe these cards are going to go higher. And why do I believe that? Number one, I believe that because Dana White is one of the best leaders out of all of the commissioners in all the sports. He lets players express themselves. He doesn't hold them back. Maybe behind the scenes, he may tell Conor McGregor, shut the hell up, because he takes it too far. But he lets the players let be. He doesn't care if they support number 45. He doesn't care if his players or if the guys that fight are BLM fans. He lets them talk smack. And that's what I like about him. And in regards to the you know what, he said he's not going to force his players to take it. And I believe they're contractors. So, in regards to contractors, I don't think they need to take that. I think they do need to get tested. So, that's another thing. We're going to find out in the next month or so about the new rules for the you know what. Now, I wanted to look at some of the cards that I have of UFC, and I'm slowly going to be adding to my portfolio. Okay, shown this many times, but I love this card, right? 2013 UFC Finest Khabib Blue Refractor. It's 1 out of 188. PSA 10, by the way. And I think there's only one of these cards out there, PSA 10. I could be wrong. I have an ungraded card. It's a 2017 Khabib Fire. So here's what happened. Last year when UFC cards were cheap, this is numbered, by the way. This is 1 out of 142. It's 117 if you see it numbered. So here's the thing. I spent $25 on an ungraded card like this. That guy was really foolish to get rid of it, by the way, who I bought it from. And he gave me this as a compliment. He shipped it from Canada. $25 on, what is it called? $25 shipped. And then I had to pay grading fees for this, which was maybe close to 70 to 80 bucks, if I remember. I did Express. I sent it out luckily before PSA shut down and before the new ownership allegedly got tougher. So that's the thing. I just added a new card to my portfolio. It's only a small portfolio, but here it is. It's an SGC card. And I've gotten on the SGC bandwagon because SGC is grading quicker, and a lot of more people are having more optimism about this compared to BGS. BGS doesn't give you your cards right away, and that's a problem that I see long term. because a lot of people that use BGS tend to be older, near retirement age, and not my millennial generation that are into BGS. Sure, I'll buy some BGS cards, but I'm not too confident about it. They're gonna need some funding. Maybe Fanatics will come in, but who knows? Anyways, 2009 Topps UFC number 101, Jon Jones. It's a 2009 card, SGC 9. Okay, I really like this card. I like the SGC. I really like this SGC card. Now, here's the thing. I'm not a UFC expert. I started watching a couple of years ago, so yeah, I'm a newbie in terms of UFC. Now, I always watched Khabib. I think one of the major fights that I first saw of him was with McGregor. And after I saw that, I'm like, wow, this guy is pretty damn good. He beat McGregor. And then he beat a few others, Poirier, and then Justin as well. I can't pronounce his last name. Regardless, we have Khabib. I thought he was phenomenal, right? He was what, 29-0? And then I heard Dana White say that it's not Khabib who's the GOAT, despite Khabib being a great fighter. It's Jon Jones. And I've heard of Jon Jones' name. That being said, I also heard from Stacking Gems, I think that's his name, on Instagram. He also said he's the GOAT. And I looked more into Jon Jones. He's definitely the GOAT, as much as I like Khabib, because I've seen Khabib fight. Now, the thing is, Jon Jones may be coming back next year to fight. The thing is, a lot of people are not buying his rookie cards. I just found that really interesting. And the population size of all the graded cards, I looked at specifically this one of his rookie cards. I looked at SGC, I looked at BGS, I looked at PSA. I believe there's less than 150 graded cards out there. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe less than 200. The population size is so small. And this guy, he's the GOAT. Dana White, the guy who's leading UFC, he said Jon Jones is the GOAT. He criticizes Jon Jones because he can't get him. I mean, he's always in trouble. That's what he was criticized for the other week. Now, put his extracurricular activities out the window. Let's just look from a fighter perspective. If he's the GOAT, why aren't people buying his card? I noticed that a lot of people are actually buying this dude instead. And I love Khabib. But at the same time, they're pricing his cards as if he's the GOAT. Jon Jones, who is the GOAT, I believe is undervalued. Now, granted, just because I'm saying this doesn't mean that people are just going to start buying Jon Jones cards. And there are some other scarce Jon Jones cards I saw in Golden Auctions. It went for about $4,000. It was autographed. It was one of his rare cards from 2009. And I'm just wondering, over a decade, if UFC becomes more popular because Dana White, he's not into promoting his politics for the most part. Yeah, he may have number 45 come to the events, but he doesn't talk about his policies. I never see when he has press conferences that he's promoting all of these Republican ideals. I don't see that. We know what he thinks, but he's cool with all his fighters. He just wants to perform. He just wants to put out a show, and he doesn't care who watches, and he doesn't believe in all these mandates. So that draws people to the sport, where you're not really promoting any political party. If you look at all these other major sports, they're promoting only one type of party, one type of politics. If you are Kurt Schilling, you will be criticized and you won't be elected to the Hall of Fame. So that's the thing. That's the difference between UFC and other sports. And that's why many people are attracted to it. And if you see more politics in sports, more people are going to gravitate towards UFC, in my opinion. And it's going to only grow. It's an international brand. We have people from all around the world fighting. You have Khabib, who's Russian, or I think he's from Dagestan. You have fighters that are Nigerian, etc. And some fighters are from Brazil. So this is not just US centric. And international folks may be interested in the sport and then also the cards. So that's one thing to note. And like I said, if there are less than 200 of these and this guy's the GOAT, I mean, this is a huge opportunity. Even though his card values have gone up, there's no doubt about it. I still think that there's more room to grow. And even if the next few years we see a major correction in sports, guess what? These are the cards I want to buy, limited population size. And some older people may be like, hey, no one really bought UFC cards. And I would be, that's correct, but we live in a society that's much different than the 1990s. Our culture in the 1990s was amazing. And now we have a society where people are at each other's throats. The employment situation is not as great as it was in the 80s and 90s. And they're going to probably implement UBI, Universal Basic Income, for those people that don't have jobs and that are unemployed. And if you give people free money and they're living with their parents or their family, what will some of these guys do? They're going to blow it on cards. I remember last year when I got my stimulus check, I blew it on cards. I blew it on a Mayweather BGS 95 card. And, my mom said that, hey, I should just keep it in saving. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do that. Or I said, yeah, whatever. And what I did was I just bought that card, Mayweather card. And it definitely has gone up. I don't know what the value is because of liquidity. I'll have to see if I sell it one of these days. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about UFC. Do you agree with my assessment? Are you buying any UFC cards? Are you buying any modern UFC card? Not modern. Are you buying like any 2021 cards? I saw some of these refractor cards. They look pretty nice. Now, there appears to be more of a supply. There appears to be more supply. So that could eventually make the price go lower. But I saw a 2021 Khabib card on Golden Auction. It sold for at least over $1,000. PSA 10. Yeah, it was a low pop amount. And you're talking about 2021 card, at least $1,000. That's insane. That's not his rookie year. What would one of his older cards like this go for then if I sent it to Golden? And there's only 188 cards, and how many are PSA 10s? Now that's something I want to hold on to. Jon Jones card, I want to hold on to this, and I want to definitely acquire more of his cards. Now, it's hard getting some of his cards in high-end grades and autos, but that's on my radar. Anyways, guys, let me know. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below, guys. Thanks. Bye.